Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your June soul session. I am Princess India. If you're new, oh, good Lord. Wait. Okay. Cards are falling. Okay. I'm Princess India if you're new. And if you're family, welcome back, my friend. We're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards and see what's going on with you all for the month of June. I hope you have been fine, Scorpio and whatnot or whatever. So we're going into an overall energy as well as a challenge, and then we're getting into a more specific spread. So first card out, looking at you guys' overall energy for the month of June, we have the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, and this is challenged by, interesting, the 3 of Wands in the reverse. So here is the dealio, Scorpio. In the month of June, you guys may be feeling a bit less than stellar. Your self-esteem could have potentially took a hit as well. Something you guys may have been working pretty hard on may not have bore fruit as of yet, or something that you have worked very hard on may have failed. It may not have worked out the way that you hoped. But it's interesting because what I'm picking up, and this is intuitively, and this may not be for everyone, but the vibe that I'm picking up on is almost as if you guys would be being super hard on yourself, because I feel like other people know about this type of, well, not that they know, but that they would. And I feel that's what you guys are going to be grappling with in the month of June, is almost like the fear of people knowing. Now, let me give an example so this kind of makes sense. So this would be like, say you live in a small town and you decided to start a business, right? So it's a small town, you open the business, everybody knows that you have this business, but you've kind of gotten to a place where you're in financial straits and you've been in the red for a while. So the wise thing to do at this point would be to close the business. But if you close this business because everyone, in town knows that you started this business, that if you close, then everyone is going to know. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like experiencing this disappointment or failure. I don't see it as failure, but you guys may, feel that way about it, but like experiencing this failure in a way that you're like double experiencing it, because it's like you're experiencing it for yourself, and because other people are watching, it's experiencing it twice. You know what I mean? And I feel the challenge for you guys is going to be to be present. And this you may not like this, but the challenge is going to be to be present and kind of sit with it, Scorpio, because there's a need to recalibrate. So that says to me that whatever this is that has halted or not worked out, or why it is that you guys haven't had success in this particular thing you've been putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into, is because it's time to kind of go back to the drawing board, because this particular path that you're on may not be the path for you, or this may not be where your ultimate future lines up. So another example of this could be like at a job. Say that you've been at a job for years, and I don't know if anyone still thinks this way, but if you do and you have a dope job like that, kudos to you. But being at a job for an extended period and your desire was to retire from this particular company, right? But every time you're trying to put in for a promotion, you're not getting it. So, time is passing. You're still making the same amount of money. You know what I mean? Like worst case scenario, you're still in the entry level position, right? And your desire was to move up in the company and ultimately retire from it. But it's been 10 years, right? And you've still never been promoted, right? But it's kind of being so fixated on this particular end goal, being at this company, that you're staying stagnant. So there's no upward mobility, but because one isn't releasing the idea of being at this company, right? You feel as if you have no options. And I feel why this is happening is for you guys to kind of expand your horizons, because I feel Scorpio's in a situation to where you're settling for less than you deserve, and you've set the bar pretty low, and it may not feel that way, right? It's like in the situation you're in, I feel from you guys' perspective, it would feel like this is, high stakes here, right? Like this is top tier. This is the best you could do given your situation, what it is that you're aspiring to. And I feel what Spirit is trying to tell you guys is there's so much more out there for you. Like the opportunities that are on offer for you outside of whatever this is that you guys are fraternizing with are far more reaching, far more lucrative, you know what I mean? Are far more beneficial for you, right? So I can already guess that what you guys are going to be dealing with this month is almost like a reawakening in yourself, your potential, and your ability. And it's kind of like the crashing down of a glass ceiling in a sense, right? This is like a self-imposed limitation. And I feel what transpires this month is for you guys to see that there's a limitation that's self-imposed, and for you guys to awaken to that so that you can supersede past that, if that's making sense. Now, getting into your more specific spread, your central energy representing you all for the month of June is the Magician in the reverse. That is Aries energy. Then we have, interesting, the Two of Cups in the reverse. I can see where this is going. Your hidden influence, interesting. We have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. I pretty much just did this whole reading already. Your potential outcome is the Page of Wands, and what to look out for moving forward. Interesting. We have the Lovers in the reverse, and this is Gemini energy. So what is looking like, Scorpio? Coming out of May and into June with this Two of Cups in the reverse, something went awry. I would pretty much say, with all those examples that I gave, whatever it is that we're talking about here, this got kicked up in the mid to the latter part of May. There was some sort of breakdown. There was some sort of dissension that became very clear to you. I don't even know if maybe it was maybe someone getting fired from a job. So like the example I gave about the person who wanted to retire from the company, it's like you sticking it out saying, I'm the longest person who's been here. They're going to see my effort. And then them coming to you and saying that they're laying you off. You know what I mean? And feeling like this is the worst possible thing that could happen to me. My future is over. My life is over. How am I going to move past this? Like, you know, kind of disaster thinking and things of the sort. But the truth of the matter is this particular thing, whatever this is, I feel whatever happened in May doesn't have to be the scenario that I gave. I feel the whole message with this is that this wasn't in alignment with you. Like whatever this is, there was a level of disharmony here. There was a level of dissension. Even if it seemed like it was something you really wanted to do, I feel it's not truly a heart's desire, if I could say it that way. It's kind of like the practical or logical ideal in a sense, right? Or should ought supposed to even. But I feel on a core deep level, this wasn't necessarily, well, I would say on a core deep level coinciding with in like the bigger macro level of things, this wasn't in your highest good. Like this isn't where you're necessarily divinely guided to be. And because this is a Two of Cups, I would have to say, oh gosh, that was a whole nother message. I would have to say, even if this is speaking to like a romantical relationship that didn't work out. And the thing I specifically heard with that, going back to this Nine of Pentacles, is like someone, again, disaster thinking, like, I'm going to be alone forever. I'm never going to be married. Like, you know, for this to not work out, like no relationship's ever going to work out. I'm going to be by myself forever. Like that kind of vibe. But I feel this is one of those your rejection is your protection type of situations, even though it may not feel that way. And I don't know. It's like I feel like a sense of desperation a little bit. And I'm not saying that like in a catty way or anything, but I mean desperation in the sense that who would resonate with this? It would be a Scorpio person who feels as if your resources, your options, opportunities, or time is limited. You know what I mean? It's like being at a point in your life where I'm running out of time or I only have so many options. But that's what I'm speaking about in the context of these self-imposed limitations. And so the same with the central energy being the Magician in the reverse. It's the fact that you have all of these skills, resources, and abilities that are available to you, but it's having a perception as if you're inept, right? Which is what this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse is speaking about. So the way our self-imposed limitations work, or self-limiting beliefs, even if we're speaking about this in the context of a mindset, right? It's like it's a consistent seeing the glass half full. You know what I mean? Like a person I know, and I used to know, we don't really speak that much anymore, nothing negative, but we just, kind of lost touch. But a person I knew, they had a learning disability, right? And their perception on life was they had dyslexia. So their perception on life was, I can't achieve anything, I can't be anything. Like, oh, I would love to have a job like that, but I can't because I'm dyslexic. And it's like, oh, I probably would have been so good at that, but I can't because, I have a learning disability, I'm dyslexic, right? That's a self-limiting belief. And I think it was a person they talked to one time. Was it like a nurse or something like that? And the person like told them like, oh my gosh, you would have been like a really great nurse. And she had said to the lady like, oh no, I could have never been a nurse because, I'm dyslexic. And the lady was telling her that it was someone that was like in nursing school with her that was dyslexic. And there was, like assistants and stuff like that to help them with that. And she ended up finishing, nursing school. And she was like shocked, like, oh my gosh, there's people with dyslexia that, finish nursing school. And, so we're talking about it. And she's kind of like, well, I wonder how much stuff, I didn't know that they like helped you with that in school. It's like, I wonder how much stuff I missed out on life. You know what I mean? And I say that to say that's the vibe I'm getting with this Magician in the reverse. It's the fact that if we have these limitations on our brain, I'm not going to try because of X, Y, Z. But it could take something as simple as realizing that there's a door that's open for you and there's a possibility for it, but we're never going to allow ourselves to see that because of whatever this limitation is, or this perceived limitation. We're always going to narrow down our options, right? So it's like, say hypothetically, if, the person felt only job I can have, being dyslexic is being, I don't know, like a janitor, right? Then that's the only job she would take, the only job she would apply for, the only job she would look for, because her thought is none of these other things out here are available for me, right? That's a limiting belief. So if there's no janitor jobs that are available, it's like, I can't find a job because of this, right? That's the same format that we put ourselves in, right? I can't go talk to this guy. I can't go talk to this girl because they're not going to want to be with someone like me. I can't apply for this job because of X, Y, Z. I could never buy a house because of, da 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 da. I can't have kids because of da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Those are all self-limiting things. Now, something I know from personal experience is a lot of times when we have self-limiting beliefs, we literally see them as like gospel. It is the truth because I know myself, I know my limitations, I know what I'm capable of, right? But if that's not fact checked, right, then that's something that can keep us a prisoner in a life that's less than stellar than what we want. And that's, again, what I'm seeing in our overall energy and our challenge. It's so much world that's out there, so much opportunities that are out there for Scorpio, but the only person that is keeping Scorpio in this holding pattern is Scorpio, right? Even if your brain is telling you right now when you're listening to me, it's like, I can't do nothing else with what I got right now. It's like, I want to do this, but I ain't got no money. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of those things is our brain that's keeping us trapped here to where we feel like we have no options, but there's always options. And that takes us down into what your hidden influence is, which lets me know for majority of you, this is a mindset. We have the Eight of Swords. So this is something that's core belief territory. This is something that Scorpio started believing one day, and your experiences in life reinforced that and started to make you believe like this is literally true. But that's another little sneaky thing that our minds do, because that's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. You can Google it, right? With a self-fulfilling prophecy, when we have a core belief about something, we actually manifest this to be the truth, right? So if we say, no one will ever love me, I'll never be in love because I'm unlovable, right? And it's like, well, how do you know that? Well, I dated all of these people and everyone that I ever dated, abandoned me, right? Now, if we were to fact check this and dig a little deeper, if we would look at the history of that person, the partner selection, the people that they chose were people who were emotionally unavailable and people who had attachment issues, most specifically that were avoidant, right? So these are people you would never get into a relationship with because everything about them is completely counterintuitive to commitment. They're emotionally unavailable and they have avoidant attachment styles, right? That's not someone who's going to be like, I want to be committed and be married, right? So if every person one chooses like that, you're never in a relationship. But after, I don't know, 10 people that you dated like that, it's like, see, I am unlovable. And it's like, no, that's actually not true. You've actually picked a whole bunch of people who are emotionally unavailable and have avoidant attachment issues. Hence the reason why they never committed. Has nothing to do with your level of lovability. You feel what I'm saying? But because one initially believed that, you made it true by the people that you chose. So you can prove yourself right. See, I am unlovable. I tried dating 10 times. I was abandoned every single time. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what this Eight of Swords is saying to me. It's not seeing anything outside of whatever this belief is. That is the limiting belief. There's no way out. How this is manifesting in your day-to-day life is in the Magician in the reverse, where you have so many opportunities, but you're not using the resources that are allocated to you, right? Hence why our overall energy is the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and the Three of Wands. It's a lack thereof of moving forward and measuring yourself in an untruthful manner. However, it gets better, but there's a catch, right? With this Page of Wands being you guys' potential outcome, what this is speaking to is a level of sacrifice to where there's something that's going to have to be left behind in order for you guys to go in the direction of what it is that you truly desire and what is truly in alignment with you, right? Because I feel in the month of June, Scorpio is at a crossroads. So there's an epic decision that you guys are going to have to make. And I'm saying this in transit. This feels to me something that's tangible in the 3D. So there's actually a physical action that's going to need to be taken. And I feel the reason why this is coming up is because of course, your actions are based on thoughts and decisions that you make, right? But there's a need for you. I cannot freaking talk. There's a need for you to make this decision and take this action from the right place, right? So when we're speaking about this contrast of valuing oneself less than what you are, or with this Magician in the reverse, not using all of the resources that are available to you, that takes us to what to look out for moving forward, which is the Lovers in the reverse. Now, this falls into that context of head or heart decision, right? So this is, are we going to make a decision to go in the direction of our authentic truth or in the direction of our false truth? Are we going to choose to move forward past this particular point that we're speaking of, still in our false self or in our authentic self, right? Are we going to move forward in the mindset of our self, limits, or are we going to move forward in the mindset of being limitless, right? Of, living in accordance with what it is we feel like, the hand that life dealt us, or what it is that we truly want to be living. You know what I mean? Like, are you at a job that you absolutely hate, but you're just there because that's what everyone expects you to do, but your true desire is to do something else entirely, right? Now, where this sacrifice comes in is that you can't have both, right? You cannot progress forward into your truth and your purpose and all the things, and also maintain this self-limiting belief. In order for you to go in the direction of what's really for you, or for you to live out your purpose or live your best life or have a life worth living, all those things, right? It's going to require you to relinquish whatever it is that you've believed up to this point about what's possible for you. And that's not saying that you have to be super lofty minded about it. It could be something as simple as you wanting to lose weight, right? If you lose 1 pound, you still accomplished your goal. You lost weight. You know what I'm saying? So it's not putting unrealistic, expectations on yourself, because that's when we get into false hope syndrome, right? And that's kind of like that cycle I was talking about with the self-fulfilling prophecy. With false hope syndrome, that's when we set a goal that is just so outrageous, and we try to achieve it, and then we end up falling off of the wagon, not knowing that that's actually a part of the process of implementing change into our life. And we get bottomed out and say, oh, see, I knew I could never do it. Or like the example I gave with losing weight, it's like saying I'm gonna lose weight, not defining how much, right? But if you lose 1 pound, it's like beating yourself up because suddenly now there's a number. Like, I worked so hard, I should have lost like 5. You know what I mean? But you never defined a number in the first place. Or if you did, it's a number where who's going to lose 20 pounds in a week? That's insanity. You know what I mean? But it's not celebrating those small victories. So the kind of vibe I get for whoever would resonate with this would be someone who really needs to start implementing self-compassion into their life, right? Because this would be somebody who's hella hard on themselves, like super duper hard on themselves, to the point where nothing you ever do is good enough. And even when it is, you're just kind of nonchalant about it. You know what I mean? And you're constantly always pushing yourself to do more, to be more, to achieve more. And I feel whenever there's hiccups or disappointments or, perceived failures, you take it 1,000 times harder because you feel like everything always has to be on the up and up, right? So that's kind of a battle that's going on with yourself that you can't win. It's keeping you like in a double bind, in so many words. So it's like a cycle that you can't necessarily get out of. Now, the thing I will say, the sign that I did before you guys is Virgo. I don't know if you guys have Virgo in your chart, or if you're a cross watcher and you're a Virgo, whatever. But I really think you guys should watch Virgo, even if you don't have it anywhere in your chart, because I talked about a very similar instance for them. So I feel like I can kind of give you the other side of this. I would even throw in, most of the people who've been watching me for some time know I have a book that tells you how to watch my soul sessions, because there's actually like a whole method, a methodology of watching them. So most people know, but if you don't and you're a new subscriber, welcome. But most people watch their opposite sign because that's your shadow aspects. So it gives you different insight. So I would say for you guys, Scorpio, it wouldn't hurt to watch Taurus as well. But I really feel, and I mean, if you guys are watching me live, then you've already probably watched Virgo anyway. Anywho, but I feel like it would help you guys out because in their hidden influence, they had the 8 of Cups in the reverse, which is speaking about like a repeated pattern. And with you guys having the 8 of Swords, it's like the other complementary side to that. Cups are feminine, swords are masculine, but it's the other side of that, of this being a pattern in thought. With them, it's more of a pattern in emotions, but this is a pattern in thought that you guys are being given an opportunity to break. Because I always look at these hidden influence, which are subconscious impressions, kind of like, a cancer that's eating away at your life. It's like everything externally is being affected by something. Good eye, guides. I was saying affected. They said infected. I think that is a very nice way to say that. Okay. So, yeah, everything in your external life is being infected, right, by this particular thing, like this influence. So every facet of your life, your behavior, your thoughts, your feelings, all of the things are being influenced by this mindset. It's literally infecting it, right? So it's showing up in different facets of your life. So this isn't one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I have self-limiting beliefs and I have a tendency to, judge myself a lot less than what it is that I am, but that doesn't bother me. I'm still successful. It's like, nah, it's like literally the equivalent of, running and trying to run at your full speed with, like balls and chains on your ankles. You know what I'm saying? Or those of you who are workout people, like the little weights that you use for like what is that, like agility training, I think the word is, you know what I'm saying? Or like basketball players will use the weights on their ankles so they can work on like their jump, so when they're off they can like jump higher. It's like that resistance, you know what I mean? Or if you've ever tried to like run underwater, you know what I mean? That resistance that you feel. It's like whenever you have like underlying influences like this, no matter how much you're trying to progress forward, it's a resistance that's holding you back. So imagine if that resistance is gone, how much swifter you would be. You know what I mean? So I feel what to look out for you guys in the month of June is going to be this decision. and where it is that you're making it from. Are you making it from your limitations, or are you making it from possibilities and your true desires? You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that's making sense, Scorpio. But I'm going to pull a core value card for you guys. I pulled them for most of the signs except for the 3 that I did before you and Virgo. I'm going to pull 3 for them and post those. But it's a core value that I'm telling each sign to kind of focus on integrating into your life in the month of June. And I've been telling everyone, if you guys want some little journal prompts on how to integrate this particular value in your life, let me know in the comments below, and I will post those up for you guys. And what's not all whatever. Let's see, what is Scorpio's core value for the month of June? But overall, Scorpio, I feel like this is good. You guys are falling into the same vein that I've literally seen with everyone. Like, no kidding. What I have seen for every single sign is it's a crossroads, but it's a huge like transformation that's happening where everyone is like really facing this thing that has been holding them back this entire time. It's like it's showing us all how we are our own worst enemy, but it's not in a like, you know, big concept where it's intangible. It's a very specific pattern of thinking or behavior that has been revealed for all 12 signs that is literally the seed of discord in our lives. Like, this is the one thing that's holding us back from living this life that we're desiring in the bigger scheme of things. Now, you guys value, oh, interesting, pleasure. To feel good. That's very much what this Page of Wands is speaking about. This, like when I say going in the direction of like what you truly desire, that's what it is. It's like looking at your life right now, Scorpio. Is it pleasurable? Do you find pleasure in your day-to-day? You know what I mean? Do you feel that that's a facet of your life, or is it just you showing up and doing, you know, what you're supposed to do, what you should do, right? Just taking care of responsibilities. The truth is you're supposed to experience pleasure. You're supposed to feel good. You have the right to do so. And I feel that this month is really giving you guys an opportunity to step in the direction of that. So if we were to say this in the context of the lovers, this would be a hard decision, Scorpio. But anywho, that has been your soul session for the month of June, Scorpio. Most certainly let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, I love your freaking face, and